Thank you. Certainly want to extend my great appreciation for the panel for coming here from 6 different states and from around a wide range of expertise. We envisioned having these kinds of events as just the kind of thing that would expose students to a broader array of thinking and different viewpoints. The mission of our school was really to look at environmental systems that are integrated. They're complex. There's biological aspects, there's physical, there's chemical, there's different time scales that our environment plays upon, but it also interacts with the real world. So most of our focus here in the coastal zone, where most of our society is, most of our economies are, and most of the environmental pressures, or a good many of them are, all concentrated, seem to make sense. That's where we should dedicate our time. It's also great to be able to transcend and try to get that information to the next generation. So we really made it an important part of our mission to try to engage students in that process of learning more about the environment, and also to try to move the scientific side of that towards conditions where we're moving towards prediction. It's really has not been so helpful, I would say, from the environmental sciences world to say this is a problem and this is a problem and this is a problem. We're needing to get better science to help the public decision process to say if we do this or we don't do this, this is what will actually happen. And there's a lot of need on the science side to bring that forward, and we're really trying to focus on that very hard and making that part of our culture. I want to thank Tom and Virginia Ann very much. Tom, you all know very well. I've finally figured out what's the major source of energy that we haven't tapped yet. Evidently, it's a gas station giant cup of coffee and some and a liter of Coke. And that's one of the greater energy sources on the planet right there. We did think of putting some jumper cables to them to run the room. but thought, they might surge and blow the lights or something. But thank you for all you've done and the energy you've brought to the program and to engaging our students and such. The third part of our mission is we're really wanting to bring our focus and expertise into the public dialogue. We very much believe it's important for science to get into the game. For many years, that was not the case. We usually kind of stayed in our labs and didn't get involved in some of the public dialogues. It's pretty messy in the real world. And so we're having to really do that if we're going to make a positive mark on these kinds of problems. About a generation ago, it really means you have to get outside your lab and meet people from other programs, other disciplines. When I went to school about a generation ago, about the only time I saw my colleagues from the business school or humanities or the arts, once a year we would come down from our labs and all the science crowd would get on one side of a field very much like the one offshore, off the window here, and the humanities and the business school would get on the other side. And of course we'd have our white lab coats on and way too much electrical tape on our glasses. And we'd have Avogadro's number and pi on our back, and on the other side would be people in tie-dye and very nattily dressed, and they would have symbols because numbers were demeaning to the spirit and things like that. And so at the blow of a whistle, we would all come together towards midfield, and as we were approaching, we'd be talking about the Schrodinger equation, and others would be quoting Shakespeare. And everyone would do high fives and go off to a tavern and actually communicate. That was once a year. And it was a great event, but it didn't work nearly enough because it was only once a year. So the kind of efforts where we're trying to reach out and engage social sciences, engage the engineering communities, the economic communities, we all need to learn from each other, and we all need to hear from each other to make our collective best wisdoms available to our society to move forward. So this forum is really kind of the strength, the approach that we're really trying to bring together in the concept here for the school, and that you're willing to come from so far to participate in it is very meaningful. One of the best things, best aspects of being an academic, you may not know how much effect you may have had on students here today, and chances are you may never see it. We're somewhat fortunate to get those phone calls 10 years, 15 years later about what an event like this or what some other kind of experience or opening of someone's eyes made a difference in their life. So I believe that probably has happened, and I'm very grateful to you to do that. And I hope you continue to do it because that is our future. and I think we'll be in good shape. We've left you plenty of problems to work on, guys, so no worries. Your job security is good. Do a better job than our generation has, and with all these great capacities that are helping you, I'm sure you'll be able to take that mantle and run with it well. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. It was really a wonderful event, and I appreciate all the time and effort that was put into this, particularly Tom. And Professor does sound very good.